You're listening to the Every Student, Every Day podcast with me, Jim Franchini, Superintendent of the Averill Park Central School District.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Every Student, Every Day podcast. March is middle school month, and we thought what better way to celebrate that than to recognize some of the great things that are happening at Algonquin. Algonquin's certainly known for being a fantastic middle school for decades now, and very proud of the work that goes on at Algonquin. And we thought we'd have some people who are helping to make it special in the current generation. So we'll go around the room, have folks introduce themselves. Maybe just tell us who you are, your name, and a little bit about your role here in Averill Park. Katelyn, do you want to start?
Hey there, my name is Katelyn Baker. This is now my fourth year at Algonquin Middle School. I am a graduate and community member of the district, so it's super awesome to be here, and I am one of the middle school counselors.
Great, thank you, Katelyn. Thank you for joining us again. Cara.
Hi, my name is Cara Victor. I teach 7th grade math and pre-algebra at Algonquin. I'm also an instructor for our CARES program, and I run the chess club and the MathCounts team.
Great, thank you, Cara. Travis Malone.
My name is Travis Malone. I'm the Director of Technology for the Averill Park Central School District. I've been with the district since 2019 and have had the privilege of seeing a lot of changes in technology, even in that short amount of time, good and bad, but mostly good. And I'm also the club advisor for the Esports club at Algonquin Middle School.
Thank you, Travis. And then to our folks representing the spring musical, Lauren and Sabrina.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Mann. It's my 18th year here in Averill Park, and I teach music and chorus.
And I am Lauren Jurczynski. I teach 6th through 8 band here at AMS in the 7th and 8th grade jazz band. And Sabrina and I work on the AMS spring musical together.
Great. Thank you again to everyone for joining us. Katelyn, we're going to go back to you. So a group of students recently went to the STOP conference at Siena, which is an annual event for our students. Can you talk to us about what happens at that conference and why it's something that you do with your students every year?
Yeah, definitely. So STOP stands for Students Together Opposing Prejudice. It's a platform for middle and high school students as well as educators to come around in celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Some of the main points of the conference are that it focuses on anti-bias education. It's held by the Anti-Defamation League, and it's organized by Siena, so it also doubles as a college visit in a way too. This year in particular, the theme was exploring the impact of the civil rights movement on the disability rights movement. I like to go every year with students because one of my favorite things about this conference is that it's set up to encourage the natural leadership that all of the students that attend display in their own schools. Students are assigned to different breakout rooms with a variety of different students from all over the capital region. And this encouraged them to break out of their comfort zones and show their natural sunny dispositions as well as using their voice. It's important for students to have experiences that are diverse and raise awareness about topics that may not be everyday conversations here at Algonquin. The students that attend can bring back what they've learned in a meaningful way and hopefully become upstanders for situations that might occur in the future. A big hit is always the Siena cafeteria, one of the main highlights of the trip. The kids go pretty crazy about all their different choices and the experience itself, and that's just one perk of the trip as well.
Can't beat a college cafeteria when you're in middle school, right?
They go nuts. So many choices. They don't even know where to begin. And then my favorite is this free?
Now, you also attended a conference sponsored by the county that was focused on youth leadership, correct?
Yes, I had the pleasure of attending the youth summit with our student assistance counselors, Joe Denizio, who's at the middle school, and also Kim Fabro, who's at the high school. Joe Plants also accompanied us on this trip. The youth summit brings together students from across the capital region to empower them to make healthy choices through engaging speakers and different exhibits on topics like substance abuse, mental health, and positive choices. It's a very empowering conference that inspires so many. Students who attend, we hope that they learn and they bring back important knowledge to help educate other students. It's just another great example of a natural leadership opportunity for some of our students who we really know could make a difference.
Great. Those are just fantastic opportunities to get kids out and get them out beyond the walls of Algonquin and interact with peers and do some really great work. Travis, moving over to you in esports. There's probably a bunch of our listeners who are saying to themselves, what are esports? Can you talk about that to start off with?
Yeah, it's kind of a mystery to a lot of people, including myself. When I first started out, you try to figure out what is this all about. Well, really, it is about video games, but beyond that, it's an organized system of competition with video games. So really, it just kind of expounds. There's only several titles that you explore, so it's not every single video game out there. You can turn pretty much any video game into an esport, but there are selected titles. So it's not as complicated or as mysterious as some of us start to think about when we first look at it. It really is just video games, something that the kids connect to fairly naturally, I think. So that's where it all starts, is just video games and then organizing that into a competitive environment.
Interesting. And relatively new here in the district. How long has the club been at Algonquin? What does it consist of? Like, what do you guys do?
Yeah, I was looking back through some of my emails because I was in on some of the conversations to acquire equipment and get the program started. That was in the fall of 2021. It looks like we kicked that off for the first time and have been going pretty strong there at the middle school. It's a very, very popular program there with the kids.
And as I have come to understand it, there's a lot going on in the esports world beyond Algonquin, down the road, colleges and scholarships and just the growth of the sport in general. Can you talk to folks a little bit about that?
Right. Yeah, there are opportunities nationwide as far as scholastic opportunities outside of high school. Notably, here in New York State, UAlbany has a scholarship program where they offer up to $1,000 a year, up to 4 years, which is not a tuition scholarship. So it's really designed to supplement things like food services or books or fees or all those other things that aren't included with those tuition scholarships. So if you have a student that maybe is eligible for something like the Excelsior Scholarship, then this would be a nice supplement to that. And it's an activity, like I said, all these kids can connect to. It's something they can jump into fairly easily. Most of the programs are welcoming to people of all levels, just like we are at Algonquin. So it's not like you have to be an expert to join these teams, and something that you may eventually be able to gain a scholarship from a university, even if you haven't done it before. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. Some of the larger programs are places like Ball State University, for whatever reason, has really embraced esports, and they have scholarships upwards of $50,000. So it ranges all over, from the smaller, more supplemental type of scholarships to nearly full coverage of your education expenses.
That is, it's fascinating. And again, is growing so rapidly. And we've talked a lot in the district about a lot of our sports that are growing quickly. Girls wrestling comes to mind. We recently added that, and it was, extremely fast growing sport. We just recently had discussions at a board meeting about flag football, but now a very fast growing sport. Esports is kind of in that same mindset, I guess, right? It's something that has started out kind of small and has really just blossomed and grown over these last few years. Cara, over to you and MathCounts. Again, a club that our listeners might not be all that familiar with. What is MathCounts? What do you guys do in that club?
Yeah. MathCounts is a national problem-solving competition. The members of the team are usually heavily involved in other things like music, sports, and other activities. So we scheduled our meetings before school to avoid conflicts as much as possible. So the kids voluntarily came to school 45 minutes early about twice a month just to do math. And that's quite the commitment, both on their part, but also on the part of their parents who drove them here extra early. And I really appreciate the parental support as well as the dedication of the kids.
Fantastic. And the club itself visited GE Aerospace to compete in a competition recently. How was that?
That day was great. The team met at Algonquin, took a bus to GE, and we joined students and teachers from across the region. The students spent the morning doing the first 3 rounds of the competition. The first round is the sprint round, which has 30 questions. Those questions are completed individually without a calculator. And then they have the target round where there are 8 questions, and that's also individual but with a calculator. And then they work together as a team. The team round has 10 questions, and they can use calculators and talk and work together on those problems. After they've done those initial parts of the competition, then there's a lunch break, which is one of their favorite parts of the day. And the results are tabulated at that point. GE and the sponsors of the competition provide pizza and salad and ice cream, and they have that lunch in the cafeteria. After that, when the competition has figured out who the top 12 scorers in the region were, those 12 compete in a countdown round, which is 2 students at a time up in front of everybody, facing off until they have just 1 student left. There are also some other fun activities during the day. We get to have a photo behind Thomas Edison's desk, and there was a guest speaker who talked about artificial intelligence and some of its uses in the work that he did, and brought out and demonstrated a robotic dog. So that was a lot of fun as well. I'm really proud of our team. I think it's important to note that in addition to working hard to prepare and doing their best academically at the competition, they also represented our school so beautifully. They demonstrated outstanding behavior and respect for everyone who was there, and I just couldn't have been prouder of them.
Another great opportunity to get kids out beyond the walls of the building, and lunch came back into it. This time pizza. So now you are a math teacher who's the club advisor for MathCounts. Is there a curriculum tie-in that you see?
Sure, yes, there is. In both the practice sessions that we do and at the competition, the problems that students are asked to solve cover a wide range of content that lands in a bunch of different subject areas and grade levels. But what the problems really do is encourage students to demonstrate some of the standards for mathematical practice. So among other things, those standards say that students should make sense of problems and persevere in solving them. And that definitely is something that they have to do in this competition. They need to be able to reason abstractly and quantitatively, and they need to look for and make use of structure. And MathCounts definitely supports those standards and encourages kids to apply their knowledge in that way.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you. The spring musical. So I got to see the dress rehearsal. It was fantastic. So congratulations on a great performance. Just took place this weekend as we record the podcast. Can you tell us about the production? How was it?
Great. Thanks, Jim, for coming to the dress rehearsal. We're happy to see you there. So as you saw, it largely follows the movie that we all know and love, the classic. And the production's fully staged. It involves a large production team here among the staff, as well as a large production backstage with all of the students who do all the technical aspects as well. And we're really fortunate here. We have a lot of interest in plays and acting among the students, and we have a great group of kids and a lot of talent here.
So we actually cast the show together, Sabrina and I, but then we kind of go separately in different roles. And we also have other adults that work with us and the students involved. So Sabrina works mostly with the cast on directing the show and music directing, whereas I'm with the crew, so the stage crew, the lighting, producing the show. And Pete Ross also works with us on sound production and set design, and we have Susanna Graziano on choreography. So it's a great team.
Absolutely. Well, what's it like? You just talked about the team and the number of adults it takes and the number of kids it takes. What's it like putting on a production like that? I mean, it's a large scale production with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. What's that experience like?
It's a lot of fun. It's extremely rewarding because it starts out with no one knowing anything. And then we have the auditions and we have to place kids in the roles that they fit and help them shine on stage. And then we have to show everyone how to do all the backstage stuff, all the sound, all the lighting, all of the movement on stage is planned ahead. And all of the scenery has to be moved at a certain time, and everything comes together at the end. And it's really such a rewarding and amazing experience. And Musicals, they really foster a sense of community within the cast and crew, even backstage prior to the performance. Just everybody getting ready, everybody helping each other out. We had a lot of our stage crew people helping the cast with their hair and makeup, helping with costume changes, helping calm each other's nerves. And it's just such a long-lasting group of friends that you get from being in a musical. And another thing I think is the trust that you get from working with others. You're relying on everyone to be there, everyone to do their part. You're waiting for each person to do their line or their cue or their prop. And it really just builds such a great community.
And it's such a team. It's such a team, and crucial to be a team. But it's also a lot of organization and planning behind the scenes because of everything that's involved, right? And each piece of the puzzle has to be put in at a separate time. So although the cast is cast early, then the crew has to be much later when the cast is a little bit more established. So it's a lot of timing and organizing on that end. But then when the team comes together, it's pretty special.
Yeah, it sounds rewarding and special, and it's certainly something to celebrate. Does the program act in your mind as a feeder program for the high school? You mentioned in the beginning, we have a lot of very talented kids who are involved in this area. Do you view it, or do you see it as a feeder program?
Absolutely. So any type of performing, a lot of these students, it's their first taste of performing in a musical, first time doing a solo, first time reading lines, first time with any of these things. And that's a solid foundation for them to move on to the high school or even in the greater community. And a lot of these kids go on and perform community theater and also summer programs.
And a lot of the kids find their niche in theater and find this is their outlet. And this is where a lot of friends with common interests, they come together. And that's a really special thing that they can carry on and also find in high school. So I think it really does kind of start that career for them.
Absolutely. Helps people to find those connections. And going back to the whole group now, I mean, you've talked really eloquently about your particular area and what it adds and the value and kids outside the walls and connecting and leadership and teams and all these clubs and activities clearly help improve our school community. Why do you feel that this is important? Why is it a big deal for students to be involved in something like this more than just coming here, going to classes and going home? And you all see kids in different areas. I mean, Katelyn, as a counselor, your interaction very different than, say, Cara, who's a math teacher. And why is it such a big deal, in your opinion, especially at the middle school level?
I mean, getting involved in extracurricular activities is so important. It helps students grow beyond their academics. The goal for students is to feel more connected in their school and their communities and learn beyond the classroom to enhance their natural leadership qualities as they grow into young adults. Extracurriculars can promote connection, skill development, exploration of interests, and also create a lot of meaningful relationships with peers, but also with adults. And it kind of brings that full circle in of building a great positive school climate. I really encourage all students to become involved in just one thing. And for so many students, it can really make a difference in their feelings about school. I know we talked about like so many wonderful things that we've had going on so far this year, but we are also doing our wellness day next week here at the middle school, which is one of my personal favorite days. And it really brings so many different teachers and outside providers and all these different things to help students explore some of the things that are of interest to them. And it really helps create well-rounded young adults. So I'd say extracurriculars are just so important. I would really encourage any parent or adult just to have their kid be involved with at least one thing, just one thing. We also have so many after-school activities as well. But it really helps build that positive character. Travis, what do you think?
With esports, I think it's something that the kids can connect to almost universally across the school. You have some kids that are very interested in athletics, traditional athletics, and some that are very interested in music and other areas. And some of these kids don't necessarily gravitate towards those interests, but they all like video games on some level. Some just play a couple of games on their phones, and some of them are really into it. So this is a place that they can gather, and they can know what it's like to be a part of something like that, and they learn specific skills like how to deal with defeat is a big skill that we work on. How to deal with disappointment, and how to encourage others to get better at something. And we've got people of all levels. So just having all these kids together, having some common ground that they really enjoy, and then just growing their awareness from there is really fantastic.
I think I'm speaking more on the musical end with the show just happening, but having a creative outlet and using your imagination isn't always done throughout the day. It's such an important thing. And also having friends, like we said earlier, with common interests, but also not necessarily in your grade that you're seeing all day. You might meet someone a year older, a year younger, that you can really create a relationship with.
I think extracurriculars help students have a sense of belonging, a chance to be a part of something which is going to help their overall mental health. And I think that students who participate in the musical, they're also serving the community by providing entertainment and culture. And I noticed when we were getting ready for the show, just the excitement in the building, all of the teachers coming up to us and all of the kids and just encouraging everyone. And so many people from the community and teachers came to see the show and just see the kids in a new light and do something that they love, that they're passionate about. And it's just such a great feeling to work here in such a great community that fosters that.
Everyone has said that so beautifully. There are so many wonderful reasons to participate in clubs. And I think one of the special things at Algonquin is there are just so many different opportunities that everyone can find something that really fits them. And whatever they pick, they're developing positive connections with the school, with the other people participating in that club, with the advisors of the club. And when they look forward to those activities and those connections, then they want to come to school. And when they want to come to school, they're more invested not only in those extracurriculars, but also in their educational experience. And so it really all wraps together. And I think it's a very, very important part of a school community.
And if you're listening to this and you're feeling like your child maybe isn't involved in something right now and you would like them to be, you can always reach out to the main office or myself or Ms. McAvoy, who are the school counselors here, and we can send you our Club Hub list. For the most part, students can still sign up for different clubs here at Algonquin. And we also have a bunch of other things kind of coming up through the year. We have like a school dance, Algonquin games. We have the Kids Heart Jump Rope Challenge coming up in just a few days. So there are definitely more opportunities for your child to become involved as well.
That was all very well said. Nothing to even add to that. I think you really covered all of it. And Katelyn, thank you. That was a great follow-up. We know a lot of parents who listen and might be thinking, oh, my kid's not involved, or what are the things they can do? And you took care of that for us. So I appreciate you with adding that information. Really good stuff. I mean, these are really cool activities. We are very fortunate that we have students who are talented and creative and interested in doing these great things, but we're also really fortunate to have folks like you who are willing to do this stuff outside of your regular workday and really add to that school community and provide kids with opportunities to get involved in something, get connected, stay connected, find a passion. And it's awesome. It's great stuff. So thank you not only for joining us today on the podcast, but for your work outside of your regular job, as well as the great stuff you do during your regular workday. So thank you very much.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. See you next time on Every Student, Every Day.